Good evening and welcome. Tonight you're invited into the night of the hidden street, a quiet place that appears only when the world is tired, and the rain is gentle enough to guide you toward rest. Breathe in and step inside. It always begins with the rain, that gentle rhythm that softens the edges of the world and slows everything down.
You can hear it tonight, falling in a calm, steady curtain, as if the sky itself is breathing slowly, inviting you to breathe with it, in and out.
The streets are almost empty at this hour. Just the glow of old street lamps, the kind that flicker a little as if they're also getting drowsy. There is something peaceful about nights like these, nights where time feels softer, as if the world is wrapped in a quiet blanket made of silver rain. You walk slowly, without rushing, letting each step echo gently on the wet pavement. The air carries that scent of rain touching warm concrete, a mix of earth, water, and memory. The storefronts are dark, their windows fogged slightly as the cool rain presses against warm glass. Somewhere, a neon sign hums quietly, painting the sidewalk with a faint blue glow. The trees along the road sway gently, their branches dripping, their leaves shimmering under the streetlights. Every droplet seems to fall in slow motion, as if reluctant to touch the ground. Far away, a car passes. Not quickly, not slowly, just enough to create a quiet splash that folds into the rhythm of the rain. You pull your coat a little closer, not because you're cold, but because there's something comforting about holding warmth close on a night like this. And then, somewhere beyond the steady whisper of the rain,
you hear it. A sound that doesn't quite belong. Not loud, not alarming, just different. Like a soft tap, a shift in the rhythm, a pause in the storm's breath. You slow your steps and listen carefully. The tapping continues, as if something or someone is trying to draw your attention without disturbing the calmness of the night. The rain keeps falling, but the world feels suddenly more still, more focused, as if waiting with you to understand what that sound means.
As you turn the corner, you see it. A faint shape standing beneath a distant street lamp.
The figure is motionless, calm, almost blending into the rain. And yet, the rain around them seems to fall differently, slower, softer, as if it avoids their shoulders and drifts gently to the sides.
You take another step. The figure doesn't move. They simply stand there, their head slightly lowered, as if listening to something only they can hear.
The street lamp above them flickers, once, twice, then steadies, casting a golden halo that shimmers through the rain. For a moment, you feel as though this person has been waiting here long before you arrived, and somehow knew you would pass this way tonight. You pause a few steps away, not too close, not too far, just enough to feel the presence of this quiet stranger beneath the rain. The figure slowly lifts their head. Their face remains unclear, softened by the shimmering rain, but their posture eases, as if recognizing you.
Then, gently, they raise a hand. Not in warning, not in fear, but in greeting. A slow, delicate gesture that feels almost comforting. Before you can speak, the street lamp flickers again. Once, twice, a soft pulse of light. When the light steadies, the figure is already stepping back, fading into the gentle curtain of rain, one quiet step at a time. And then, with a final shimmer beneath the flickering light, the stranger disappears into the soft darkness of the night. You breathe in slowly. The rain continues its calm rhythm. The world feels the same, and yet, somehow, different. And as you begin walking again, you feel the night settling around you like a warm, quiet memory, guiding you deeper into the story that awaits. You keep walking through the rain, each step calm, unhurried, guided by the quiet rhythm of the night. The city feels softer here, quieter, as if every sound is wrapped in a layer of silver mist. A cool breeze brushes past, carrying the scent of wet stone and distant leaves, a scent that brings a strange comfort, as though reminding you of something you can't quite name. The streetlights reflect in thin rivers of water, their glow stretching across the pavement like trembling lines of gold. You take a slow breath, letting the night settle gently around your shoulders like a calm, dark blanket. You notice the way the rain sounds different here, more delicate, as if each drop has its own tiny echo. A soft gust of wind passes behind you, curling around your coat before fading into the night. Somewhere far away, a sign flickers with a quiet electric hum, barely audible but steady enough to paint the air with a faint vibration. The storefronts you pass are dark and silent, their windows fogged and glowing slightly under the rain-soaked lamps. The world feels slower here, as if time is stretching gently, waiting for you to notice something. And then you feel it, not from something you see, but from the air itself. A faint warmth, barely noticeable, reaches you through the rain, as though the night has taken a quiet, careful breath. You stop for a moment, listening to the delicate rhythm of the falling rain. And that's when you realize the sound has changed. Not everywhere, just ahead. Rain should echo the same across every corner, but now you can hear a different surface, a different texture, barely a few steps away. You take a few slow steps, and the street opens before you, a narrow path, glowing softly from an unseen light, a place you've never walked through, never noticed, never even heard of. Yet it's here, quiet, perfect, as if it had always belonged to the night. The rain at the entrance falls differently, slower, softer, as if drifting sideways, avoiding the ground. The pavement looks untouched, smooth, almost polished, without a single footprint or puddle. You know this city well, every corner, every turn. But this street, this one, has never existed. You move closer, and as you step beneath the arch of rain, the world becomes quieter. Your footsteps change too, no longer sharp, but deeper, as though the ground beneath you is hollow, waiting. The air grows warmer, touching your skin with a gentle, steady calm that feels strangely familiar, as if this place remembers you. Far ahead, a faint glow pulses, not bright, not harsh, but alive. You breathe in slowly, and the warmth folds into your chest like a quiet heartbeat. The glow deepens, not approaching, not fading, simply waiting. The invisible walls of the narrow street seem to tighten slightly, guiding your steps with gentle certainty, as if protecting you from the storm outside. You take another step, then another, and the warm light pulses again, softly matching the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You exhale slowly, and the air responds, a tender breeze brushing your cheek, as if whispering a welcome. The rain outside feels distant now, a memory fading behind you, as the mysterious street draws you deeper into its quiet glow. and with a final gentle step, you let yourself follow the warmth into a place that should not exist, but somehow feels like it has been waiting only for you. You keep walking through the quiet rain, letting the night guide you with its soft silver rhythm. And then, through the curtain of falling water, you see it. A house, small, old, hidden between tall, dark trees you could swear weren't there a moment ago. A single warm light glows from an upstairs window, steady, golden, and strangely inviting, as if someone left it on just for you. The house seems untouched by time, not abandoned, not lived in, but quietly waiting. The rain softens for a moment, as if giving you space to look a little closer. Even from here, you can feel something warm slipping through the cracks of that golden window, like a memory trying gently to reach you. You take a slow breath and step closer. As you walk nearer, the glow from the window changes. Not brighter, not dimmer, but somehow more perfect. It's warm, like candlelight, but smooth, like moonlight, and steady, like something alive. You can't quite explain it, but the light feels familiar. The kind of glow you'd expect to see in a memory you loved but thought you'd forgotten. And yet, there is no shadow, no movement, no hint of who or what might have turned it on. The trees around the house seemed to lean away from it, as if respecting its warmth. Every raindrop slows as it falls past the window, glowing briefly in the golden light before touching the ground. You realize this is no ordinary light. It is too soft, too steady, too welcoming to belong to an empty house. And yet, nothing inside moves, nothing stirs. It shines for no one and for you. As you reach the front gate, a new sound slips quietly through the rain. A piano. Just a few notes, slow, careful, as if someone is playing only when the storm exhales. The melody drifts through the window, floating with the rain. Never rushed, never sorrowful, just calm enough to feel like it's guiding you. You step closer to the porch, your footsteps syncing with the gentle music. The notes shift, soft, rising, almost like a lullaby meant to follow you through the doorway. It feels impossible for a house like this to be empty. And yet, no shadows move inside, no voices speak, only the rain and the piano. You place your hand on the old wooden door. It's warm, not from heat, but from something gentle, something alive. The door opens without a single sound, not a creak, not a groan, as if the house has been waiting for this exact moment. Warm air greets you instantly, thick with the scent of old wood, vanilla, and something soft, like books left open on a cozy night. The rain outside sounds gentler now, as though the house itself softens the storm. Inside, the walls are covered in warm, muted colors, earthy browns, deep greens, soft golds, like a memory painted by candlelight. A thick rug cushions your steps, its fibers soft, almost cloud-like. The air carries a faint hint of cinnamon and old paper, and something floral you can't quite name. Nothing here feels abandoned. Everything is warm, not dusty, not forgotten, as if someone left just minutes ago. And yet, the quiet is perfect, peaceful, almost protective. You run your fingers along the wooden railing. It's smooth, polished, carrying the warmth of many hands that once rested here. A gentle draft brushes your cheek, not cold, but comforting, bringing with it the scent of dried lavender from somewhere upstairs. The house glows softly, lit not by lamps or candles, but by that same warm golden light that fills the window above. It feels ancient, but not old, quiet, but not empty, warm, but not consuming. You feel the air settle around you, a blanket of calm, of memory, of something gentle watching over the house. The rain outside continues, steady and soft, but in here the world feels slower, softer, like a warm dream you've stepped into. Your eyes drift upward, toward the glowing staircase, toward the room with the perfect light, toward whatever waits gently in the quiet above. You take a slow breath and step toward the first stair. The house welcomes you with a silence warm enough to feel like a memory you've always belonged to. The hallway glows softly behind you as you step into a larger room, one shaped by shadows, warmth, and quiet memory. Your eyes drift across the space to a corner where something waits, still, elegant, and impossibly familiar. A piano, old, dark wood polished by countless years, keys slightly yellowed, edges softened by time. It stands as though resting, not abandoned, the way a favorite chair waits for someone to return. The lid is open, exposing strings that shimmer faintly under the warm golden light of the room. The wood carries small marks, gentle scratches, subtle signs of touch and history, each one whispering its own quiet story. You step a little closer. Your reflection appears faintly on the polished curve of the piano's side, distorted softly as though seen through a memory. There's no one sitting at the bench, no movement, no breath, just the piano, waiting in serene stillness. Yet you feel it, a pull, gentle but unmistakable, as if the instrument already knows you've come to listen. The rain outside presses softly against the windows, a muted rhythm that blends seamlessly with the silence of the room. And then it begins. A note, soft, alone, barely louder than a breath. Another follows, gentle, hesitant, like someone remembering how to speak after a very long silence. Soon a melody forms, slow, delicate, woven with nostalgia. It's the kind of music that feels older than your own memories, as though it belongs to someone you once knew in a life now softened by time. The notes drift like falling rain, each one landing softly, gently, carefully. You close your eyes for a moment, and the melody becomes something deeper, a feeling more than a sound, a warmth in your chest, a quiet ache behind your ribs, a calm that settles like a blanket. It is neither joyful nor sad. It simply is, like a memory replaying itself without asking for permission. You open your eyes again and watch the piano, its keys moving on their own, but so gracefully that the movement feels alive, natural, gentle, never eerie. The melody rises just a little, like a soft breath lifting the room. Then it settles again, slowing, sinking, glowing softly in the air like a warm echo. A stillness spreads through the room, not empty, but full, in the way quiet places can be when they're truly at peace. Your breathing slows naturally, matching the gentle rhythm of the falling rain and the floating melody. The house seems to breathe with you. The air grows warmer, softer, as though it's holding you gently in the center of its memory. You sit on a small cushioned bench nearby, not the piano bench, but one placed perfectly for listening, as if the house prepared it for you. The melody shifts again, more tender now, less like someone remembering and more like someone whispering, "You're safe here." Your shoulders loosen, your breath deepens, your heartbeat slows, not because you try, but because the moment invites it. Even the thunder outside keeps its distance, rolling softly behind layers of cloud, like a giant turning in its sleep. The peace grows thicker, a gentle fog of calm that quiets every thought before it even reaches your mind. When you finally look away from the piano, your eyes drift toward the walls. Paintings, dozens of them, soft landscapes, all touched by rain. Each frame holds a different scene: a misty forest, a quiet river, a lantern-lit street at night. But all share the same gentle rain falling softly across the canvas. Then you notice something, a movement, subtle at first. The raindrops in the paintings, they shimmer, shift, fall, slowly, gracefully, as if the paintings themselves are breathing. It isn't startling, it isn't surreal. It feels natural, as though the rain inside the paintings is simply continuing its journey. The forest painting to your left moves with a breeze you cannot feel. Leaves sway gently. Fog rolls between the trees as quietly as the piano's melody. In another painting, a tiny lamppost flickers softly, its glow warm and golden, matching the house's gentle light. You realize the paintings aren't alive. They're not enchanted. They're simply expressing, remembering, just like the piano. Each one holds a moment, a quiet, rainy memory, and allows you to witness it. The movement is slow, dreamlike, like watching the reflection of clouds drift across a still lake. You take a deep breath, letting the calm wash over you like warm rain. The piano remains steady behind you, each note folding gently into the rhythm of the shifting paintings. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling lighter than before, as if the house has eased something you didn't know you were carrying. Your footsteps are soft against the old wooden floor as you walk deeper into the room. You run your fingers gently along the back of a worn armchair, feeling the fabric, smooth, old, comforting. The air smells faintly of rain, warm dust, and the lingering sweetness of whatever memories this house holds. You approach the piano again, this time from behind. You watch the keys move, slow and tender, as though guided by invisible hands made of nothing but emotion. The melody softens further, each note dissolving a little quicker than before, like a lullaby nearing its end. You exhale slowly. The room holds the breath with you, a shared moment of quiet understanding. The paintings dim slightly, their motion slowing until the raindrops freeze mid-fall. The piano plays one last chord, a gentle, warm sigh of sound, and the room settles into silence. Rain whispers steadily outside, a calm, soothing reminder that the night continues, soft, patient, peaceful. You stand in the stillness, listening to the quiet breathing of the house, and you feel it. A deep, unwavering calm rooted gently inside you. The piano's gentle melody settles into the room, like a soft breath resting on the old wooden floor. And then, your eyes drift towards something resting on the piano's edge. A small notebook, simple, worn along the corners, yet somehow glowing softly under the warm lamplight. Its cover is textured, a deep, muted brown that looks as though it's been touched by many quiet evenings, just like this one. You reach out slowly, your fingertips brushing the soft, slightly uneven surface. It feels warm, not heated, just naturally warm, as if it remembers the hands that held it before. A tiny ribbon marks a page somewhere inside, tucked gently between stories, waiting to be read. You lift the notebook carefully. It's light but full, soft but timeless. The moment you open it, the rain outside seems to hush just a little, not stopping, just softening, as though the world wants you to hear what rests within these pages. The first page greets you with letters written in ink that flows gently across the paper, not rushed, not forced, but drifting like quiet thoughts on a calm night. The handwriting is elegant, soft curves, gentle strokes, almost musical. And though the ink is still, you get the strange yet peaceful sense that the words shift ever so slightly when the piano plays. It's subtle, like watching light move across water. The first line reads, "If you are reading this, you have walked the rain's quiet path." The message isn't warning you. It isn't asking anything of you. It simply feels like a warm acknowledgement, as if the notebook recognizes calm hearts who wander on rainy nights. The words settle into you like a peaceful memory you can't quite place. Below the line, another phrase waits. Some places open themselves only to those who move gently through the world. You breathe in slowly, and the room seems to breathe with you. Nothing here feels dangerous. Nothing feels rushed. The notebook simply shares a quiet truth about nights like this one. You turn the page, careful, slow, letting the paper whisper softly beneath your fingers. Here, the paragraphs are short, gentle fragments of moments other travelers have experienced. One passage speaks of someone who found shelter here on a stormy night, much like yours. Another describes the sound of the piano as a companion, a gentle guide through quiet hours. Every sentence feels alive in a calm, soothing way, as though the stories breathe lightly with the rhythm of the rain. Some words shimmer faintly, as if reacting to your presence in the room. Further in, you find pages filled with delicate sketches, lines drawn gently, as if the artist was listening to the rain while creating them. There are sketches of the house, the piano room, the old corridors, the warm lamps that glow softly even on the quietest nights. One drawing shows the very room you're in, almost identical, except the shadows seem softer, the rain outside gentler, as though the house remembers every peaceful moment shared within its walls. Another sketch shows the front door, but with a caption beneath it. This house appears when the night needs softness. The words feel comforting, like a promise that the house opens only for those seeking calm. You reach the bookmarked page, the one the ribbon pointed to. The writing here is different, more spacious, more serene. It reads, "If you wish to continue, walk with the rain. It will show you the way." You feel something settle inside you, not an answer, but a calm certainty that the notebook is simply guiding you toward the next quiet moment. Page after page is filled with gentle notes, observations of the house, small reflections, soft reminders to breathe slowly and notice the world as it unfolds gently around you. Some phrases stand out, glowing faintly beneath the warm lamplight. Every step is softer when the heart is quiet. Rain remembers what we forget. They're not warnings, they're invitations. You close the notebook gently, letting its calm presence linger in your hands for a few more peaceful breaths. The piano plays a slow, tender phrase, as if acknowledging that you've reached the end of this chapter. You place the notebook carefully back on the piano, exactly where it waited for you. The rain outside deepens in warmth, its rhythm slow, steady, comforting, like a lullaby written by the night.
You breathe out softly and prepare to continue the journey the notebook has begun for you.
Before you turn the page, you feel the quiet weight of the house around you. The rain outside falls in a peaceful, endless rhythm, a rhythm that seems ready to guide you through the stories hidden within the notebook. The next pages are softer, their ink lighter, as if the stories were written for nights exactly like this one. The first story begins with a lantern, a small one, left on a quiet shore where the rain mingled gently with the waves. It wasn't bright enough to guide a boat. It wasn't meant to. It simply glowed in a warm, steady heartbeat of light, as if keeping someone company. A traveler once found it there, resting on a smooth stone that the sea had polished for years. No footprints, no path, just the lantern, waiting. The traveler lifted it, and the flame flickered, not from the wind, but almost as if recognizing a gentle touch. The story says the lantern didn't guide the traveler anywhere. Instead, it stayed warm in their hands until the rain stopped. And when the traveler placed it back on the same stone, the flame continued glowing as if nothing had changed. Some lights, the story says, don't show you the way. They simply stay with you until you're ready to move again.
The ink fades gently, as if the story itself drifts away with the tide. The rain settles into a deeper rhythm, as if turning the page for you. The next story waits quietly. The next page tells of a window in an old house by the hill. A window that never fogged, no matter how cold the air became or how warm the room was. People would gather around it on rainy evenings, watching the town lights shimmer under the falling rain. Some said the window stayed clear because it held on to every reflection, a keeper of gentle memories. One evening, a visitor touched the glass. It felt warm, like the hand of someone who had been waiting. The story says that those who looked through that window saw the world not as it was, but as it felt, during the calmest moments of their lives.
Labi jāskaidrs. Tu tā stāv kā čurā, ķipa, vīrietis. Wackelzettrijk, Rinaldi.
The ink softens again, as if the window closes gently. Another page turns, quietly, as the rain continues its patient song. The third story begins with an umbrella, left at the door of a quiet cafe on a rainy morning. It was old, the kind with wooden ribs and deep navy fabric, but no one ever saw who left it there. People used it often, borrowed it, returned it. Somehow, the umbrella was always warm. Not wet, not cold, just warm, as if it absorbed the comfort of every person who held it. Those who carried it said the rain sounded different beneath it, softer, closer, like a lullaby woven between the drops. The story ends gently, with the umbrella still resting by the cafe door, open to anyone who needs a moment of quiet shelter. The rain pauses, then settles again, a reminder that there are more stories waiting. The last story speaks of a bench under an old wide tree on the edge of a quiet path. People sat there to listen to the rain, because the tree's branches caught the drops and let them fall slowly, one by one, like gentle notes of a calming melody. Sometimes the tree would creak softly, a sound that felt less like wood and more like an old friend adjusting their seat to sit beside you. The story says that the bench held every moment of peace shared beneath that tree. As the ink fades, you can almost feel the quiet comfort that the final story carries. You close the last page, slowly, letting the stories linger in the warm air of the room. Each tale, a small, gentle whisper, carried by the rain. And as the house settles around you, you feel the soft presence of every story, quiet, patient, waiting with you as the rain continues its calm, endless song. You close the notebook, and the room settles into a warm stillness. The rain outside falls in a softer rhythm now, as if the stories you just read have blended into its gentle song. The house feels warmer, calmer, as though it recognizes that you've reached a quiet understanding. As you lift your eyes from the pages, you notice something subtle, a gentle warmth spreading through the room, as if the house itself is taking a quiet breath. Nothing moves, nothing changes, and yet you feel as though the walls carry a soft intention, not watching you, but welcoming you. You begin to understand that the stories in the notebook were not just tales. They were reflections, mirrors of quiet moments that soothe the tired mind. And with this realization, the rain outside seems to fall closer, not louder, just nearer, like a blanket of sound drawn gently around you. A thought comes to you, not sudden, not startling, more like a memory that surfaces gently after a long time. The traveler in the stories, the lantern, the window, the umbrella, the bench. All of them were places of rest, moments of quiet, shelters for anyone who needed a pause. And then you understand. The house you're standing in is not a place found on any map. It appears only to those who need a night of calm. It is not a building, not a room, not a street. It is a refuge, a space shaped by your own tired mind, woven gently from memories of comfort and fragments of rest. The house doesn't ask anything. It doesn't demand. It simply unfolds whenever someone needs to breathe again. You feel the truth settle in you like a warm blanket. The house came to you tonight because you needed it, not in a dramatic way, but in the quiet, human way that everyone does sometimes. The traveler in the story is you. It always was. The notebook, the piano, the rain-soaked street, all reflections of the rest you've been seeking. You look around the room again, the soft light, the stillness of the air, the gentle shadows, and everything feels warmer now, as if the house is proud you finally understood. There is no fear here, no urgency, only the soft truth that this place exists to help you rest when the world feels too heavy. You breathe slowly, deeply, and the house breathes with you. It doesn't want you to solve anything or discover anything grand. Its only purpose is to offer peace where peace has been scarce. And as the rain continues outside, soft, even, endless, you realize the night feels gentler now. The truth of the house is simple and soft and warm. It appears only when you need it, and it stays as long as you need to rest. The last notes of the piano linger in the air, soft, slow, as if they're taking one final breath before dissolving into silence. The traveler listens as the final vibration fades into the warm quiet of the house. The melody doesn't end abruptly. It simply drifts away, like a feather caught in the slow breath of the rain. The silence that follows is not empty. It feels gentle, as if the room itself is resting. The light from the window softens, dimming the corners of the room with a warm, sleepy glow. It doesn't flicker, it doesn't fade quickly, it just relaxes, like a candle calming its flame before sleep. The traveler watches as the shadows lengthen, stretching softly across the floor like quiet ribbons of dusk. Every breath of the house feels slower now, deeper, calmer, as if everything inside these walls knows the night is reaching its gentlest moment. The light dims once more, a subtle step downward, guiding the traveler toward deeper rest. The traveler feels it, the slow weight settling over their shoulders, their arms, their breath. A heaviness that isn't tiring, but comforting. The rain becomes the only rhythm, steady, soft, protective, a quiet heartbeat from the sky itself. Their eyes blur a little as they look around the room. The edges soften, the colors warm. The world becomes velvet, smooth, slow. The sound of wind brushing gently against the walls feels like a lullaby the house has known for years. Outside, the rain keeps falling in a calm, endless rhythm, not hurried, not heavy, just steady enough to wrap the world in softness. It sounds almost like a hand smoothing the air again and again, a gesture of comfort from something unseen, yet deeply familiar. The traveler closes their eyes just for a moment, and even with them closed, they can feel the safety of the rainfall. Like a quiet shield between them and the rest of the world. The house grows softer, the rain quieter, the air warmer, as if everything is folding gently into a deeper layer of night. The traveler exhales a long, slow breath. Their body becomes heavy. Their thoughts blur. The world narrows to the soft patter of rain and the gentle hum of dream thoughts beginning to form. The mystery doesn't disappear. It simply settles, sinks, and glows faintly, like embers beneath quiet ash. And as the rain whispers on, the traveler drifts into the deepest, warmest sleep, carried by the house, the quiet, and the night itself. The house feels warmer now, as if it knows the night has reached its softest moment. You've walked through rain, through memory, through quiet secrets that only appear to those who need rest. The traveler stands near the center of the room, feeling the gentle glow that seems to rise from the very air. The rain outside continues its calm rhythm, not urging, not calling, just holding space for one last breath of wonder. There is no rush, no final urgency, only the soft truth that every journey must eventually settle into quiet. The traveler returns to the small wooden piano bench where the mysterious notebook still rests. Its pages flutter slightly, not from wind, but as if the book itself is breathing. A soft glow warms the last written page. The ink shifts gently, forming new words, slowly, peacefully. Rest now. This house appears only for those whose hearts carry tiredness. Sleep within its walls, and it will guide your dreams. The traveler's eyes soften. The message feels familiar, as if it was waiting for them long before tonight. A quiet room opens beside the piano, lit by a warm amber glow. Inside, a small bed waits, simple, soft, covered with a blanket that looks like woven sunset. The traveler steps inside slowly, guided by the hush of the rain and the weight of sleep settling deeper with each breath. They lie down. The mattress welcomes them as if it has known their shape forever. The blanket settles gently around their shoulders. Breathing slows. Thoughts loosen. The world becomes warm and distant and soft. The rain outside grows softer, steadier, forming a perfect lullaby around the walls of the house. The traveler sleeps deeply now, so deeply that the house begins to fade around them. Not abruptly, not mysteriously, just gently, like mist returning to the night. The window light dims to a quiet glow, then to a whisper of warmth, then to nothing at all. The walls dissolve into drifting rainlight. The floor softens into cloud-like dusk. The ceiling opens into gentle darkness. And still, the traveler sleeps, safe and unaware, held softly by the night itself. The house is gone. Only the rain remains. Only comfort. Only quiet. Only sleep.